What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, everybody, check it out, man. Once again, we got to talk about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and once again, it's bad news. This time, it's Captain America, Brave New World. Shout out to John F. Trent on thatparkplace.com. Captain America, Brave New World, reportedly awful after the test screenings. Now, I want you guys to consider that this ain't the first time that this movie has been test screened. As a matter of fact, this movie was test screened before the reshoots. That's why they ended up doing a lot of reshoots, because it was test screened then and it was trash then. It was trash then, and they said, screw it, let's go ahead and change this whole situation up, all right? They gave it a new title. It was Captain America New World Order. Now it's Brave New World, all right? They did that. They cast Giancarlo Esposito, put him in the movie, and then reshot about 60 to 70% of the movie, and it's still trash, all right? Can we just say this is confirmation that this movie is just not going to be good, all right? This thing is still awful after they did all of that work, pumped I don't know how much more money into this thing. Bring it again, Giancarlo Esposito on board. That dude don't come cheap, I'm pretty sure. And yet and still, we are looking at awful after the test screening. Now, I'm going to show you guys exactly what the problem is, all right? Here's where the problem lies. This is the Wikipedia page for Captain America Brave New World, all right? Ignore Julius Owner for a minute. Look who the writers are, all right? We got Malcolm Spellman, all right, who was known for being on Empire and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And then this other guy, Dalen Musan, I think, who is also known for being on Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So there it is right there. Y'all doubled down on stupidity. Why would you bring back the two people that made that garbage? I mean, seriously, man. The writers, I think Malcolm Spellman is the showrunner. He was the one that created Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and he's the brainchild behind Captain America, New World Order, Brave New World, or whatever. So when you wonder why, oh, damn, I wonder why it's awful. Yeah, that's why it's awful, Marvel. All right. You had this dude who is clearly an activist. All right. The showrunner of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, clearly an activist.
I'm a black man carrying the stars and stripes. What don't I understand? Every time I pick this thing up, I know there are millions of people out there who are going to hate me for it. You can knock down a forest with the email. You can feed 1 million people with a phone call. Who's in the room with you when you're making those decisions? Is it the people you're going to impact? Or is it just more people like you? You've got to do better, Senator. You've got to step up. Because if you don't, the next Carly will. And you don't want to see 2.0.
You got to do better, Senator, and all of that bullshit. You guys remember that. That's the same person that made this movie or wrote this story. I mean, I'm sorry, man. So you could put Giancarlo Esposito in this thing. You could reshoot it 1 million times. If that dude is the guy that came up with the whole storyline, it sucks. It's automatically going to suck because we've seen what his previous work looks like. You know, but anyway, let's go into this article and see what they're talking about. A rumor claims that Marvel Studios' upcoming film, Captain America Brave New World, is awful following recent test screenings. This rumor comes from Scooper My Time to Shine Hello on X. He wrote, just heard back from like 3 people who went to see Captain America Brave New World test screening, and woof. He said, woof. Movie sounds awful. All right. And that's his tweet right there. I mean, nobody's surprised at this, man. You know, Marvel's just been running their entire studio and their entire brand down the drain over the last couple of years. You know, we were talking about this on the nightcap. I asked the question, when's the last thing before Deadpool and Wolverine that you thought was legitimately good by Marvel? And it was Spider-Man No Way Home. All right. That movie came out 3 years ago. So in between that movie and Deadpool and Wolverine, what has it been? It's been a whole lot of ho-hum, who gives a fuck? That's the problem when it comes to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Nobody cares. It was also previously reported by Jordan Rumi at World of Real. He wrote 2 different cuts of the film test screened last week. The person who attended didn't seem to like the movie all that much. He added, the reactions I've heard have not been very kind to this movie, which is being described as inessential and flat. Yeah, that's the last thing you want to hear when it comes to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Something that's inessential means it didn't need to be made. It's not important. You know, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is a universe that builds upon itself. You know, one project leads right into another project. So you want to watch the previous project. You want to watch the next project. Like, that's the way the Marvel Cinematic Universe became what it became. You know, the interconnectivity. But it seems like even when they're trying to connect this, because I'm sure this thing is going to try to connect to all the previous events of Civil War, of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and, the other pieces of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's still inessential. It's still unnecessary. Nobody gives a damn, And it's two different cuts of the film, which I find interesting as well. So they made not just one cut, but two different cuts. And apparently neither one of them sons of bitches worked. So I don't know what Marvel's doing anymore. Well, we do. Okay, we do. They're hiring activists, and this is what activists do to your brand. Marvel, are you paying attention? How much more brand damage are y'all going to allow to happen to your franchise? Again, it's going in that direction. We're pretty soon, we're going to be talking about it in the same breath with Star Wars, all right, if we're not already doing that. This test screening appears to have taken place following significant reshoots for the film that were initially rumored to last anywhere between 3 months and 22 days. It was initially reported by Scooper Daniel RPK via Marvel Film News or News Films in January that the film would undergo reshoots from May until August. We talked about that previously as well. However, the Hollywood Reporter's Boris Kitt reported at the end of May that the reshoots would last 22 days and would include in the introduction of Giancarlo Esposito's new villain character. The reshoots eventually took place through August. So, yeah, there's a lot going on. We got Giancarlo Esposito. Tim Blake Nelson is coming back as the leader. All right. We got Red Hulk. All right. Just jamming it up with all kinds of stuff. Harrison Ford's in there as Red Hulk or as Thunderbolt Ross. All kinds of stuff being jammed into it. It's awful. All right. It's absolutely awful. Again, it has nothing to do with all the trappings of, oh, look, we got the leader. Oh, we got Giancarlo Esposito. We got the Red Hulk. We got a Black Falcon, Captain America. We got all of this stuff in here, and it's still garbage. Again, this tells you that Marvel doesn't know what it's doing anymore. You got to go back to what y'all did in the first 3 phases, Marvel. Real good writing. Even the movies that were like, not so great, even those movies are better than the bullshit y'all putting out there right now, man. It's absolutely crazy, man. Yeah, and this dude said, he revealed, Tim Blake Nelson said, oh, I shot the entire movie twice, all right? He told the Hollywood Reporter in September, well, we're done. I've shot it. I've actually shot it twice because I did it originally a year ago, and then we came back and redid a lot of it at the beginning of it this summer. Yeah, so again, we said that back then. I remember Valiant Renegade called it out. It's like they are going to pretty much reshoot this entire movie. They're going to try to say they didn't, but they've pretty much reshot the entire movie. That's what I'm getting out of this, because how do you bring a villain that wasn't in the original cut and you just shoehorn them into this one? How does that even work? When you add Giancarlo Esposito to the mix. So, yeah, in my opinion, they rewrote the movie. They reshot the movie. They did all kinds of shit to this thing, and it still sucks. This thing is going to bomb, man. This thing is just going to be an absolute box office bomb, man. Mackie, who stars as Sam Wilson in the film, had previously downplayed the significance of reshoots, telling Radio Times, we shot the next film, and now because we had this big strike, it kind of delayed everything. So now we're going to do our reshoots, which isn't a big deal. Every Marvel movie I've done has between 6 weeks and 3 months of reshoots. That's what they all say. They always say the same thing. The reshoots is just part of, making a movie, which it is. All right. Nobody denies that. But the fact that you had to reshoot as much material as you did, you're not just touching up some scenes here and there, all right? You added a new character, a new main villain, Giancarlo Esposito. You added him to the mix, and then you reshot all kinds of shit. 3 months of reshoots, that's enough to shoot an entire movie. So, yeah, look, this thing is going to be trash, all right? At this point, I have no doubts in my mind. This movie, a movie that nobody cared about, nobody asked for in the first place, all right? Disrespected, Sam Wilson by turning him into Black, Falcon, Captain African America, rather than just saying, hey, you know what? Let's just go ahead and just recast or make a Falcon movie. Or, hey, let's bring in Bucky. Bucky would have been a better Captain America, kind of fit with his whole arc. But they threw him away and threw him into the Thunderbolts in favor of, Falcon, which is dumb, man. It's a stupid move by Marvel, and I don't think this thing is going to work. Them trying to drop it in Black History Month, them trying to drop this movie in Black History Month, that's going to be interesting. I don't think that's going to work at all. I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, we're going to come out and watch this because it's, a Black actor. It's a Black movie, quote unquote, and we're dropping it in the middle of Black History Month. Oh, yeah, this thing is going to do gangbusters. I don't think this thing is going to make any money at all. All right. Especially if the test screenings are coming out as awful. All right. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about this situation. How do you think Captain America Brave New World is going to do? You know, coming on the heels of Agatha all along, of all things, coming after Agatha all along is this movie. This thing is going to be a dumpster fire, no question at all, okay? But you guys let me know what y'all think. Jump down in the comments, give me your thoughts and opinions on that. Thanks for watching. See you next time.